It's all right.
What's up, world, and welcome to our show, Cuzzo Convo. We're your hosts, Renaissance Ronnie
and Mo Lovely. We're here to have an open dialogue about all things Black reality TV, highlighting positivity and giving out real life accountability checks.
So grab your seat and whatever you need, because we're about to dig in.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another episode of Cuzzo Convo. I am Mo Lovely.
And I'm Renaissance Ronnie.
And we are glad to have y'all back with us. And for those of y'all that are new, because we haven't done a new shout out to our new Cuzzos.
I know, we got some new ones.
What's up? Thank y'all for tuning in with us and just, thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. Continue to show the love, hit that subscribe button, love up on that like button, and share this amazing commentary that we are giving on these shows.
They really be sticking with us too, because we be really going for it. I think our talks, we be on here for an hour. Definitely. So for somebody to stick around, I'm glad. I'm happy.
For sure. Yes, we appreciate it. And for y'all to stick around for 15 seconds to be like, oh, they beautiful, but I'm good. We love y'all too. And you can come back. Just, just know that don't come back and be like, oh, I remember Cuzzo Convo. I'm like, no, stay where you are. Stay where you are. You're going to be one of them distant Cuzzos that we be like, oh, yeah, I know her at the family reunion. We talk. We here. No, but seriously, we do thank you guys.
Yes. And I appreciate the comments.
Yes, definitely.
I got to respond to some of those comments.
Yes, I know, guys. Let me just tell you, just in the middle of from motherhood to just life happening things, it's a lot going on. So we definitely we always are telling y'all to engage with us. So we definitely need to engage. That's definitely on, me as well. So our apologies. We're going to get better. We're going to get better. We full-time wives, full-time mothers, full-time entrepreneurs, full-time 9-to-5ers. Well, I don't have a 9-to-5, but Ronnie does. So
Mo is a fairly new mom, so yes. She has a toddler at home.
Child,
so you know how that can.
It's terrible.
I have 3 children, so
please leave some messages to support me, because this mama is pandemic babies. I'm telling y'all. Yeah, we got set up. God, why you set me up like this? No. All right, so let's jump in. We're gonna do the Ready to Love finale, child. I know that many of you all out there was not really impressed with this show this season, and I would have to honestly say that this was probably, as someone that's been watching, I missed the very first season, but from second season on, I would have to say this probably was a very disappointing show. The season, I should say. I wasn't really too impressed with it. So hopefully the next stop is Dallas, Texas. So hopefully Texas brings something, good. But with that being said, let's talk about the abrupt leaving of Kadian and Swayze. What's your thoughts on that?
So it just seems like they didn't know how to communicate with each other. They weren't on the same. Well, that's what they were given anyway. They didn't know how to communicate. They weren't on the same level. She didn't get through to him, or taking it seriously, and so they decided that they would eliminate themselves and go their separate ways. But I follow Kadian I don't follow her on social media. I do, but I go to her page since, I'm invested in Ready to Love. And apparently 2 weeks later, Swayze called her up and said he was ready to be in a relationship, and they've been going strong ever since. So Kadian and Swayze are together. They made it, I guess. Which we probably will find out at the reunion.
Right.
They're together, yeah. Kadian and Swayze are actually in a relationship.
Interesting. So I don't know, it's weird. I'm trying to, Kadian is a very strong-willed individual. She definitely is. I'll say this, she has a checklist. And if you're not checking the boxes on that list, she's not going to waste her time. I do feel like, though, because I think that Ready to Love is a 2-month process. Some things, and especially if she's saying that they did hang out, because I do remember you sent me a message about them hanging out off camera when they weren't really supposed to. So the thing is that either Swayze had possibly something else going on that might have been like, hey, I'm interested, with a little Mamacita. And then little Mamacita must have been like, no, I'm good. I saw you on TV. So you just go with her. You go with her right on over there. He probably was like, hey, how you doing, Katie? And so, I thought about everything you had said, you and your godmother. And so therefore I'm ready to be in a relationship. I mean, I hope that that's not the case, Swayze, but at the same time, I don't know. That's weird that like he called a week. You said a week?
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later and was like, I want to be with you. That's just weird. Like, I want to know, like, I hope that they reveal this on the reunion, but I want to know, like, what was the process? Like, y'all just was not talking, and then I don't know.
Without her, or like,
yeah, that's just weird. That I don't know. It's just weird, but to each his own. I will have to find out with the reunion for them. But that was that. But it was weird. Like they just kind of cut themselves out and was like, yeah, we doubt you out. You do, you good, I'm good, I'm out. I was like, okay, weird. Anyway, so with obvious reasons, we know we keep it sweet and short with Charisse. We already know she was like, yeah, I'm bowing out. But I will say this. I don't know if you noticed this. That Charisse was sitting with the guys at the gas table. She wasn't sitting with the girls.
Doesn't get along with the ladies.
Yeah, that was really interesting to me. And I don't know if, because I don't feel like Charisse was like that with any of the women, like that she had like issues with the women. Like she never really, we knew that she had her thing in the very beginning with Dominica and how people was like, oh my gosh, she just was real rude and nasty and disrespectful. But until the encounter happened between her and Kay, I just feel like I feel like she just really distanced herself, and she just was like, I don't have nothing to say. I don't want to engage anymore with women like that. Like you could definitely tell that she just really just kind of tapped out. And I guess she just felt like, hey, if I don't really want to be around Kadian, or I'm just like not really going to invest in really talking to the women like that anymore because I don't want to get played if we're not really here to build outside of trying to find love or whatever. So that is unfortunate, I would have to say, because I don't think that whatever your connections, because again, like nobody was really checking for Samson like that. So it wasn't like she really needed to have conversations, or possibly maybe she had an issue because she felt like, Kadian, you could have told me this information, and Brandy, you also could have told me this information, because they never said
about
Samson. Like they held on to it until the very end. But my question would be, well, ladies, when did you find out this information, and why did you think that now was the place to disclose it instead of pulling me to the side of me and like, he not here for you because he definitely told me this, or oh yeah, he called me too. Like, okay,
maybe they just thought it was okay.
Her and Kadian, I understand, because Kadian was like, no, chick, I was playing the game and So I understand why Kadian might not have shared that with her, because they had their little tit for tat and their fallout. But Brandy, I don't understand why she would have held on to that information, especially because her and Mike, since Mike was her strongest connection, I would have been
like, kind of connecting to Samson too at one point, Brandy. So maybe that's why. Maybe she thought that was because at the time she was one of his connections. Remember, it came down to like Charisse and Brandy for him.
Right, but then and I have a thing about that because that seemed made up to me. Like I know a lot of people online are like, the Charisse and Samson thing just didn't feel like it was real, but I definitely felt like the whole Brandy thing was, when I was just like, this is random. This is like 2 weeks before the season end. So when did y'all start talking? Right. Like it was weird. Anyway, so yeah.
The connection came out of nowhere for me, but it seemed like when I saw him saying he had a connection with Brandy, that's when I realized that it may be another side to Samson that we don't, because it was like, she just doesn't fit the type of person that you would think, even though, don't get me wrong, I think Brandy's a very sweet and intelligent girl, but I just didn't think that was necessarily Samson's type. And then for him to just pop up and be like, I'm having this connection with Brandy. And it was like, Samson, I don't know about you.
Yeah. And or they could have edited the way where they actually have been having a connection this whole time, and they decided to only edit that her and Mike were whatever, because they've done that. Like, there's been a actual old castmate that exposed them for doing that, where they said, you know, that this person was my strongest connection, but I also had a connection with whatever, and y'all never showed us on dates. We went on like 4 dates, and so that could be that. And child, the whole own editing crew, I don't know what y'all be doing on that now. Because y'all be doing some interesting things. So anyway, so that's that. And so, you know, Sharice, I definitely wish you nothing but the best. You know, I, again, just like Kadian, I believe that you know what you want, and this is just was not the place. So hopefully this show opened up some doors for you to the men in which you do want. The girl, be careful, be on your guard, discern, because you know what you want. Men can make themselves look like what you want, and then you find out that, yeah.
Well, based on the clip, it seems like she might be in LJ's rotation. Did you see the clip for the reunion?
I did see the clip.
And he was like, LJ's dating, well, has been going out with Sharice and
is it like Sharice, Kayla, and somebody else?
No, it was Sharice, Shakira. Is that her name?
Oh yes.
Sharice, Shakira, and what's our girl who had the spring wrist or whatever the hose he?
Tranika,
yeah. It was them
okay,
three.
so they're having a foursome, pretty much.
That's what they were saying. Yes.
Okay.
It was like, we
LJ must, like I said in the very beginning, island men, they can be very, 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 very generous. They are very like serving. They're all of those things. They will gift you. They will be down for you. So maybe that's all they want. And he probably breaking off Tranika because she told him to take off her. She said take off my panties when he played the couple of shrums on the on the guitar. So he's probably definitely hitting with Tranika. She probably was like, since your ex can't seem to stay away, let me pull up. So him and Tranika probably getting down, and then I don't know, he probably just doing whatever with the baby girl.
Shakira. And then he probably takes Sharice out on dates. Sharice probably say, okay, well, I'll go out to dinner with you.
Right, exactly. She probably was like, you brought gifts. Okay, I'm good with that. We can continue. Yes, I'll give you a facial. Come on. So yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, we'll see what that's about. But yes. And then as far as Samson, Mr. Life Coach, you definitely had me fooled. You know, like I said, if I was a widow and I would have decided to slide up in your DMs, I probably would have said, never mind, after I saw what I saw.
I can't believe him.
I was really hurt, Samson. Like, I was rooting for you like every week, like, yo, this is the strongest man. This is the man that's ready. This is the man. But I guess the life coach, like, stuff got me. Like, you knew how to use your words. You knew how to, like, pretty much finesse and, in a sense, manipulate to have your way to the top. And again, your goal was, let me stay on this show so that I guess your future, whatever you want. But then again, 48, never really been in a long-term relationship or whatever. So there's definitely some signs of Samson. We gotta really like.
He's a manipulator.
I would say you might be a nice guy, but there's something there that's drawing women back. That's like, I'm good.
He posts the whole thing to Sharice too.
Unless you're trying to life coach everybody you're in a relationship with, and then not allowing for people to see you, because that's the thing. Like, when you do any form of like therapy, counseling, or whatever, like to a certain point, depending on who you get, that counselor or that therapist may share a little bit of themselves. But most of them are like, I get paid to listen to you and give you life advice. I don't, and have you to navigate through the issues, and we come up with tools and stuff, not me sharing my life story. So I think that your life coaching is, I'm here to do exactly what I need to do for you. But when it comes to me, we don't need to really talk about me. And I think that's what Sharice was like, dude, like, when are you going to open up? So good luck, Reese and Samson. Yeah, you played me. You got me, Samson. So moving on. So the people who chose the people. And we got Kayla. I'm not really happy. I mean, like, I'm not really happy. You know, Jamala never stood out to me, like, throughout the whole process. She never did. Like, nothing against her. It's just that she never really stood out to be a dynamic woman to me. There was nothing about her that stood out. Like, there was nothing that I disliked, and there was nothing that I liked about her. So she wasn't really, so I would love to have, again, known what really did rah see. One, two, what I ended up seeing from her when she did talk about, you know, Kayla's tickling his scrotum, which was ridiculous. Child, I was just like, okay, no, something's going on here. And the thing, I think what we saw a huge difference between, like, Brandy and I mean, no, Brandy had her little moments where she would be like, okay, can I get a drink or whatever? Like, she was feeling some type of way when Kayla was answering all the questions in the game and all that stuff. But we never saw Brandy, like, get out of character where she like, would that be better, or she better, or she out? I know she not about to be over here. Like, you had literally had Brandy, I mean, Mike that liked Kayla and was entertaining Kayla, and Randall who liked Kayla and entertaining Kayla. And you never once, like, looked at how Brandy reacted to their connection, like, to be like, well, if Brandy ain't tripping out like this, then I shouldn't be tripping out like this. Like,
right. She was always pretty cool about other people having connections with, even when she knew that she really liked Mike, although she knew he had a connection with Kayla, she never was just like, you know, she always kept it cool, which
exactly. So I didn't, that's what I'm saying. Like, she just really, for me, it was very telling that, like, I only say that for me, when I see women on this show act like that, it has to be they slept together. That's it. Because and that has been the thing in the past, where if you've seen women, like, really act out like that, then it comes down to it where somebody was like, well, you were sleeping with him, and you, like, and it'd be true, and then they'd be like, well, that doesn't really matter. Like, it does matter. And they're like, it doesn't matter. And it's like, but it does, because now we understand where your craziness came from. You all decided to bust it wide open. And because you decided to do that, you are in your feelings, because yes, sex is a very intimate act. Like, it's not just, oh, we just having sex. Like, it's, and especially when the older you get, you're not over here like, I'm just a young John over here, just, you know, no, like, it is an investment. You are saying, I'm giving myself over to you, and I want you to care and be responsible. But I don't suggest that women or men do that, because you get disattachment, and then when you don't get picked in the end, you know, it kind of backfires, and it has backfired on some women who have decided to do that. So, but yeah, the women, and then especially when it don't work out, in the end, they come to the reunion. They'd be like, we've been sleeping together since week 2 of the process. I said, ooh, not week 2, child. So, you know, but yeah, anytime you see women that get, like, real whatever, with Jamal about tickling the scrotum, child, I was like, okay, y'all must be sleeping together. Y'all hadn't been sleeping together, because there's no way. I'm sorry. So that's thing. I did not think that Randall should have chose Jamala. I think that Jamala, there's a lot of work that she has to do. And again, rather we have the sex or take out the sex, still there was just a lot that I just feel like she had to she needs to work on. There's a lot of self work.
I would never date a man that's more pressed for me than that I'm more pressed for him than he is for me. Like it wasn't unbalanced. It was, I don't know. You could say that Randall was just laid back, has a laid back personality, but she gave me overly pressed for him. She gave me that if he didn't choose her and chose Kayla, that she would have run up on the beach anyway and be like, rah, 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 Kayla. That's what she was acting like. She was acting like she couldn't be turned down. So when he said all of that he said to her about, him choosing her and why or whatever, and saying like, I hope that you chose me too. I'm like, boy, she chose you too. Like, that's not even a question. She's definitely ready for you. I don't know about ready for love, but ready for you.
That deep exhale was like, okay.
I saw people online, they were like, she just seems like an older woman. And who does her makeup? And
I'm
saying, has he ever seen her without makeup? Has he ever seen her without a wig? Like, they were really going in on her online. I was just like, what?
She does, which is why I always say she kind of gave me like Kimmy vibes, because I know that Kimmy is like in her like mid 40s or whatever like that. So she definitely, yes, and both her and her sister need a makeover, because the sister came in with the same thing. So I don't know where they grew up.
Same wig and the same foundation.
Yes, it's like it's giving funeral makeup. I'm like, like that old like Mary Kay when when they used to do like the demonstrations that they had that like powder. You be like this, ooh, them faces a little ashy. Yes, I don't know. And the thing is I think it was at the retreat where she actually had on less makeup, and I was like, girl, you look first of all, you look way younger. And better. You look way better. Like, just chill. And I even say the same thing with Brandy. Brandy has looked different like 3 or 4 different times when I'm like, I don't know what this girl really actually looks like. And then Mike, I guess that's why Mike decided that she needed to be in that room, because he could
see her when she wake up.
Yes, he was like, this is good to see you, like you how you look when you wake up. And I was like, she still got on lashes, baby. You really don't know what she looked like, because I don't know if y'all know this, but when them chicks be taking off them bat lashes, child, they be looking like a completely different woman. You be like this, ooh, and like it just is like they stripped something from their like they just look totally naked. Like, it's really weird. Like, that's why I like, even for myself, I had to like stop wearing lashes, because even though like I liked them and I kept them at a very natural length, like I definitely wasn't bat lashing it up. But like when I like took them out, like your natural lashes falls out with them. And child, I was like this, ooh, not me over here with the bald head looking eyes. It was weird. And I just was like, forget it. Like, let me just get some extended like mascara if I want to do whatever. But yes, no, she needs to like have a real makeover. And I see that she has her hair up or whatever for the reunion. It looked like she like dropped a lot of weight. So I hope that she's okay. But yeah.
She did look slimmer.
Yeah, I just I don't know, like that wasn't who I would have chosen. If it was anybody, I definitely would have chosen Kayla. But I think, and even though I was not a fan of Kayla's in the very beginning, once Kayla started talking and she said that she's a Jack and Jill kid and all that, like I grew up with all those type of people.
What is that exactly?
So Jack and Jill,
you know what that is, right? He was like, yeah, I'm thinking no.
I'm pretty sure Randall didn't grow up Jack and Jill, but Jack and Jill pretty much is an organization where like a lot of pretty much between upper middle class and rich Black families come together, and they have these different like events from when you're a child all the way up until you're pretty much going to like college. So, and the only reason why I know about it is because my mother and I used to do some Jack and Jill events or whatever. But yeah, it's like the teaching, and then they also teach about like your
like debutante type situation.
Yeah, and like they teach you about like your roots and stuff like that, like where like things about what you come from, and where like teaching you about like the like $1 million, like,
Oh,
people, like,
I saw this on it was a show, it was short-lived, but it was pretty good. I don't know. Our kind of people.
yes, pretty much that is Kayla. Is
Okay.
our kind of people. Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
That's their life. Like, yeah.
I'm just getting ready to explain the show to you. I'm like, we talked about this show. You know this show. Yeah, our kind of people.
That's exactly. Yeah. I actually have, so the family that one of like the hugest families we used to be big with, I mean, like really close with that. Again, I was never a part of it. I just I never I got initiated in or whatever, however that process is, because you got to like pay and all that stuff. I just, again, my mom just worked like events, Jack and Jill events, and I was just with her and helping her. But yeah, child, like them, yeah, rich people. So one of the families that we know is actually the original creator of TV One. So like, just to give you kind of, yeah. And like now his daughters, they have like this like skincare line. I think it's called Brown Girl Jane. Yeah. So when you grow up in that, like you grow up in that and you stay consistent, like Jack and Jill families, they don't really like fall out. Like they stay in their wealth. It gets passed down, and yeah. So
because her dad is a doctor, right?
yeah.
Kayla.
I don't really remember, but I do know.
Yeah, I think her dad was a doctor. I couldn't remember her mom.
Real estate.
Oh, real estate, yeah.
Yeah.
Her dad was doctor.
Yeah, so yeah, so those were those upper middle class, the rich Black families, wealthy Black families is all there. So I think between both Mike and Randall, I just feel like there is I think that there was some intimidation. I do believe that there was some intimidation, because even with Mike's brother, he was like, okay, bougie. He was like, yeah. I was just like, is it bougie? I don't know if it's bougie. Like, it's again, you're talking about at this point a Black female that knows herself, that most likely knows her roots, understands where she comes from, and then she has a dad that pretty much has been like not like a fatherless father. And I was having this conversation with Tony today about, you could grow up with your dad, but like you can still kind of have like a fatherless father in the home, that's like, all I do is provide and whatever. But I was like, she definitely seems like she has a dad that has been very invested into, her, into her period. And she's like, yeah, I'm just not going to settle for whatever. Even though I do feel like I would have to say that if Mike did ended up picking her, I would be looking at her sideways, because I'd be like, girl, you know that all it is between you and Mike is a sexual energy. Like, we got to realize that. Like, it's not like, it's a sexual energy, and you don't need to entertain that. Whatever he gave off to you, whatever. And again,
I wonder, did she know he was a stripper? He is a stripper. I'm sorry, but he's like, when people have been commenting in his comments about him, basically being a stripper or being a nude model, whatever he does, he really has been like going in on people. So he's like, I don't know why he's really getting upset about it, but it's like, Mike, we see the pictures you have tagged on your pinned on your page. You're clearly something like an exotic dancer, or like I said, does those paint a dick pic things. I don't know what they call them. I don't know what they call them.
I just call it sip, paint, and strip, but but
whatever.
Yeah, he is what you call him, like the one screenshot that I remember having, and I saw the lady's painting in the background where he took a picture and was like booked and busy, or booked, busy, and blessed, whatever he said. He had on like a golden robe, not robe, but like a golden towel or whatever. And then obviously he was topless. And then I guess it's like, so they painted him like that. Like, so he wasn't like fully naked. But again, yes, you are doing some form of like entertainment that has to do with your body. Like, you share your body with other women. Like, I know that unless it's a hey nigga up in there, ain't nobody, no minute up in there painting you. So I don't know. Like whatever, Mike. Like, I mean, like I said, my mother-in-law, who has followed him way before Ready to Love, was like, I know him. That's Mike Hall. He's a stripper. So, so I'm like, somebody that's followed you from years ago. Dude,
Right.
come on. Like, just, and even if it's not something that you might be doing now, just simply say like, yes, it was my past. Currently, what I'm doing, the entertainment that I'm doing when you guys see my photos or whatever, no, it is not stripping, and I don't have to get into it, but maybe I'll get into it. But no, I'm no longer a stripper. Like, even if you just said that, like,
I'm looking at it now, like I don't even know if you guys can see this, but like what is that? Like, it's clearly some type of.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Child, I don't know. But, obviously he picked Brandy. He looks really nice. Those colors were really nice on him. Brandy looked really nice. And
in regard, he could be a stripper. I mean, if that's what his chosen profession is, I think he's nice. I think him and Brandy looks like they can make a nice couple. I just wanted to know if they knew.
Right. And then that was never, and that was my only thing about Brandy, and I guess maybe we'll see in the reunion, is I never saw her really get into deep conversations with him. And the why Mike also didn't pick Kayla is that you have a dad that's like, so this, and he said it, he was like, yeah, her dad was really intimidating. And I'm like, yeah, well, first of all, you're way older. You're almost dad's age. Because remember, Kayla's 30 and Mike is like 45, 46.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, you're closer to dad's age, bro. He needs to come at you a certain way, and probably looking at you like, so you just gonna decide to just share your body with the women, and then
I know. Yeah, Dab's gonna be like, so what do you do for that?
I guess exactly. Like, no. And so and again, you might be electronic engineer, whatever it is that you said that you do, whatever your profession is in the daytime, but your side hustle is the sip, paint, and strip parties. Period. Like, just say what it is. So yeah, so I can't say, unfortunately, I cannot say that I'm team Mike, and just like with Randall, Rah and Jamala, I cannot say that I'm team Mike and Brandy. Two beautiful people, but I do want more for Brandy. I just do. Like, I don't know. Like, I think that she's a very nice, sweet young lady. I will say that Mike's brother definitely did say, when he said, okay, you've never really been in a long-term relationship. You've never been in a relationship that you felt like was whatever worthy. So, and you said that it was always them. So can you share some of your flaws? And she couldn't share a flaw. That's a red flag for me, because I'm like, I can definitely, I mean, even in a marriage, I can tell you like, hey, these are some of the things that I still have to work on, that I'm working through as a wife in my marriage. So I don't know. Like,
maybe because she's never been in a real relationship, she doesn't even know what her flaws are as it pertains to being someone's partner.
Well, my only thing is that you don't think for a minute that no guy let Brandy know, because when she's saying, this is my thing, is what's her definition of long-term relationship? Is she saying that I'm in relationships like sexually only, or is she in relationship? Because even with her, when they were asking Mom, like, okay, well, what was some of Brandy? She was like, well, Brandy loves really hard. Okay, so what is that again? And that can be a flaw. Like, hey, I love hard, and I've loved people that I really shouldn't have loved because they did not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a flaw. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that you're not able to articulate that is very weird to me. And I just, as a 37-year-old, because I think she's 36, 37, like, you almost 40, you should be able to articulate like, no, this is my issue. Every dude that I freaking encounter, they sweep me off my feet. I'm thinking that we having something and we go on strong or whatever, and then I fall deep, and then they be like, oh no, it's not like that. I'm good.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's why she's discounting those relationships as situationships, because I'm thinking what happened is she thought they were serious and they always end up not the guy's always been like, oh no, that's not, those weren't my intentions. So she probably always ends up being more serious than they were. And then she kind of feels like silly in the end. So it's like, okay, well, those weren't real relationships. Those were just situationships because I was the only one here for a relationship. So yeah, she needs to reevaluate that.
Yeah, because that and that's my greatest concern, is that I just hope that getting with Mike isn't, and Mike getting with her is to mold Brady the way in which he wants her to, because you realize that the only thing that Mike literally asked of Brady and then asked her parents was, I'm just concerned about her career. Like, she just be gone all the time. And then, Dad was like, well, you want some hard drugs, child? And I was like, and I'm like, yeah, no. First of all, she already told you, and and then she picked up and said, which means you don't listen. Where I'm like, ding, 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 ding. Red flag, girl, red flag. You do not want a man that don't listen. I mean, I know that that's like 99.9% of men, like, they don't fully listen. But I'm just saying, like, the fact that he had to ask your parents the same, and that seems to be the only question that he's asking, like, of importance. My question then becomes, why do you keep asking this question? Like, what is your greatest concern? Is it because I'm going to be gone and you're not going to have sex and you're going to cheat on me possibly? Like, what is it? Like, I just want to know why he was so gun-ho, like, which comment. And she was like, he can be at every layover that I'm at. I'm like, no, girl, he don't need to be at every layover that you at. He don't need
exactly.
to be.
How long does she be gone? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Months
the
at a
thing
time?
is that I guess she's put in enough of her time as a flight attendant where she says that she told him, she said, I can decide to fly 2-3 days out of the week, or I can decide to fly. So she has it where she's put in her hours or whatever her flight hours had to be, that she's like, I can kind of pick my schedule. I don't need to be like on a flight everywhere or going from this place to the whatever. So I'm just like, yeah, she already told you, like, okay, like, if I need to be gone for the 5 days out of a week for 1 week, and then the next following week is only 2 to 3, like, I can make that happen with my schedule. So, like, I don't know why. Like I said, I don't understand what that was, unless there was some insecurity there that either she's going to do something or that he's going to do something. That's the only thing that I can think of. And he's like, I already want to do nothing to mess this up, so I need you. And control yourself, man. Anyway, yeah, we'll see what the reunion is looking like. It's from what the clip looked like, is that he's swooned her with some words of like, yeah, I could just get down on one knee and marry her. And she's like, oh, feather butterfly.
And he put out their box too. I was like, what's in there? And she was like, it was some chocolate covered strawberries. I was like, oh.
She was like, oh, it was cute. It was
I thought it was a necklace in there or something. I was like, what is in there?
They blamed out my answer is yes, or whatever he said on there. So, but yeah, no, it was cute. I've actually never seen anybody do that. So where Randall just brought Jamala some flowers because he knew that was all she was work was a bunch of flowers that was going down in 3 days, and just like a relationship. Oh, Ra, you messed up, Ra. If it was anybody that I would have wanted him to give a chance, it would have been Kayla. And if it didn't work out, it's cool. Like, but the whole Jamala thing, beyond just the makeup and her looking old, it didn't click for me. And that's why I said I really can't wait until because them girls is going hard. They're like, girl, he don't claim you. I was like, ooh.
They're going hard, and based on the reunion, it don't look like they are really. They look like they're still trying to figure it out.
Well, yeah, that's what she said. She was like, yeah, we're still. I was like, girl, no, it's you trying to figure out. He moved on. He's gone. That's one thing that I pick up about Randall, is that if he feels, I won't say if something is too challenging, But if he just feels like it's not benefiting him, I just feel like he first starts like mentally like going, and then he'll be like, I'll kind of stay just to see. And then I feel like he goes mentally detached, emotionally detached. Okay, physically I'm not attached, so I'm done. Like I feel like he has layers of like how he begins to, because that she definitely was showing herself when he was like, okay, you're acting like this. I'm start to like we not seeing here, so I don't know about you.
His social media gave me the impression that he was back in DC actually. So I don't know if he is. He posts a lot of pictures in the gym, but for some reason I just got the impression that he wasn't still in Miami. But he may be. But another thing I kept seeing online, and then we can kind of wrap it up. But was a lot of people didn't like the way he broke it to Kayla that he wasn't going to pick her.
Yeah,
me personally.
Mm-hmm. No, go
ahead. Because I'm from DC, the DC area, it didn't bother me too much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just a DC man thing of how they can come off kind of like nonchalant, or it can even come off like it's rude, but it's not, I don't think it was like that. It almost I almost felt like she was like what's your decision? Just say it. And he was just like, I'm not going to pick you. And so that's just how it came out. But a lot of people were really like upset. Like, why would he dismiss her like that? I don't like the way he said it to her. And I was like, what's the big deal? I don't know.
Well, let me first say this. If y'all haven't noticed, and I'm assuming that Kayla is some form of, I don't know if she was a track star or she trains, but if you look at her body, she definitely like has like the Michelle Obama arms. And so Kayla, everywhere she goes, Kayla has a plate, honey, okay? And that plate is normally like filled with a lot of protein. So
was she cutting up his food?
Yes, she was cutting up
go
his
ahead.
food. And then she had a bite of his food, and then her food came. But when you look at the editing of it, I think that they have been in conversation, because like, you know, when you hear people talk about like the behind the scenes, like you're there filming for like 2.5-3 hours for this like 45-second scene. Mm-hmm. So it looked like to me that Randall was just like, okay, can I tell her yet, or what? Oh no, we want y'all to still have a conversation about whatever. He says, because he literally was like, I'm not choosing you. Like, and it looked like he literally was like falling asleep. Like because even when he was like, you ready to go now? he was so, and we never saw Randall like that. So I really think that they dragged out that scene a little too much probably for them, from whether it was, oh, we're waiting on food or whatever. And they probably was like, okay, well, here's his food. And then Kayla was like, well, where's my food? They were like, well, Kayla, okay, we'll wait. Y'all can just stop, pause for a moment, and then we'll pick back up when your food comes. Like, it's like, you gotta remember all the logistics like that comes with that. And I just think that Randall was like, all right, guys, I'm about to break it to. I know y'all might not be ready, but here.
That's why I felt like they was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and say it. And
right.
Like, I'm not choosing. Yeah, or she was like, just spill it, just spit it out, because she was kind of like, just like, well, okay, your decision.
Right. Yeah.
And then the way they walked out of there, when he was like, okay, you ready? I felt like they had went somewhere and talked again, like outside of the camera, like
probably
like that was bad, awkward. Let's just, because even in his confessional or whatever, he was like, I really see that it really hurt her feelings, and but I also that I saw a vulnerable side to her. Like it seemed like it was more to that. That scene was chopped up weirdly, like
right. Because I was like, vulnerability. I was like, where was the vulnerability? I didn't understand. I was like, it was y'all sitting, her chopping up your food, and then her telling you to spill it. So I was like, I'm confused about that. So yes, the way that they definitely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The editing department, child. I don't know how to really edit, but if y'all need somebody, I'm willing to learn to do it the right way. Like, I feel like I can definitely do it the right way. But anyway, so yeah, so that was that. Yeah, we'll be coming back with let's see what this
reunion.
Let's see what this reunion. It seemed like Looney and Cosmic Love probably had something going on, because And then he was like, I need to go see her. I said, no, you didn't put your little spell on her. And she got caught
She liked him.
Huh?
She liked him.
I know. If she couldn't have told, yeah, Chad, I don't. She needed those Trinica friends. Run. Run. No, you don't know about after that, but that's what but now that I know that Trinica was a little freaky deep, Trinica was thinking about that cosmic love peen, honey. That's exactly what she was thinking about. That's all she was thinking about. Because I feel like Trinica throughout the whole time was trying to get the nicest peen she could get to somebody to lay that pipe down and bust that back open. Because I'm serious. I'm like, Trinica, like, girl, like every time you talk about, oh yes, because I like to have it swing long, and oh yes, take my panties off now. Like, well, if we actually do a whole recap of Trinica comments, it's more sex in there than anything. And then you got into your feelings because either you let somebody put the tip in or went full throttle in you because you was mad to my son when Mike told you wasn't, the men thinking she was like, oh no, I call BS. I said, ooh, Trinica then turned into for real Trinica, okay? She was like, oh no, I'm about to be trapped Trinica up in here. I was like, woo, what happened to the nice little pleasant, zen Trinica? No, she said, let me turn up real quick, and then jumped into Mike's arms with her drawers all exposed. And she was like, he's like, oh, I got you. So anyway, yeah, I can't wait to hear from these women because, child, is a lot. So anyway, so y'all let us know in the comment section. Again, we know that this was not our most popular show, but we wanted to complete the season off, and hopefully we'll come back with another better season. We'll see. We'll give it a chance first before we commit to it. How about that?
This was my first time, so I didn't have any expectations. It was pretty good.
So y'all, thank you for joining us, and we will check y'all out and see y'all on the flip side. Remember to love up on that like button, hit subscribe, and share, and let us know, who are y'all? Y'all team Rara and Jamala? You team Mike and Brandy? And if so, who, why?
Are you team Kadian and Swayze?
Yeah, Kadian and Swayze, the two crazies, Swayze and Katie.
They look like they fight together.
Yes, they flip over mattresses. So anyway, all right, y'all. Thank you for joining us, and we out. Peace.